Hey, how's it going, ladies and gentlemen of the internet? My name is Doodles. Now, yesterday was the EA Play press conference from E3 2017, and I've got to say, what a way to start E3. I believe that was the first press conference I think that they've done at E3 this year, and they absolutely delivered it. If there's a way to kick off E3, that is how it's done. There was so much news, whether it's sequels to games, DLCs, new IPs, you name it, EA announced it. And we're going to dissect it a little bit and we're going to talk about it in this video. So I'm going to go through some of the main things that was announced. There was a lot of stuff with people talking and stuff like that. It was over a 2-hour presentation, but there was a lot of talking between people in there. But I'm just going to sort of go through the main things that were announced in terms of games, and then we're going to discuss some. But first thing first, Battlefield 1 is getting a whole host of new DLC. I think it was called Neville Knights or Nivell Knights. New DLC coming in June. Prize to Tahu, I can't pronounce it. Praise to Tahu, I don't know. Praise to Tahu. Honestly, can't remember how you pronounce that. New DLC coming in July, and then the main one in September in the name of Tsar, which is going to have 6 new maps. It's going to have the Russian army, new vehicles and weapons, iconic women's battalion of death, and more coming in September 2017. So 3 new DLCs have been announced for the next 3 or 4 months for Battlefield 1. And this is really, really awesome because rather than just going the Call of Duty route and going, right, it's been a year since Battlefield 1, now it's time to release Battlefield 2 or whatever the next game in the series is going to be. They have decided that they are going to continue supporting this game. I also find that with Battlefield, that's what they tend to do. They usually wait 2 or 3 years between games. So it's great to see that it's probably going to be at least another year's worth of content for Battlefield 1 before they release the next game. And that's one thing I really like, because rather than just sort of cashing in, being like, right, it's been a year, new £40 game, new £40 season pass, they're sticking with the same game. They are keeping it alive, and that is one of the main things I like about Battlefield over Call of Duty. And the DLC looks awesome. I did a reaction video for a trailer for the In the Name of Zai, and check that out on the channel too. And I've got to say, what a way to really kick things off. Battlefield 1 looks absolutely stunning. The graphics have always looked stunning to me. The gameplay is absolutely sweet, and I'm really glad that they're supporting the game with at least 3 new DLC packs before the release of a new game. And one other awesome thing is that EA was showcasing a lot of competitive players as well as YouTubers. And they showed like a montage of YouTubers and streamers playing Battlefield 1. And showing some really awesome clips, whether it's really awesome kills or just some really awesome teamwork that was going on. And showing the story of one guy who 6 months ago was an unknown player, and now he's won a championship. He's one of the top players in the world, and one of the most well known. So it's really great that, and this isn't the first example. This isn't the only example of EA doing this throughout this press conference. But it's really great to see that EA embracing this new generation of media, because for a few years when YouTube stuff like that first came about, publishers, developers weren't really keen on the idea, but now it's great to see that companies are finally embracing us, and they're finally embracing YouTube, Twitch, etc., and they're showing the importance of what these platforms have in order to keep these franchises alive and even make franchises in some instances. And it's really great to see that support. And like I said, that's not the first. That's not the only time that they've done this in this press conference. You'll see that a little bit later on. Next thing, EA announced that For Speed Payback will be released on November 10th, 2017. Once again, there's a trailer reaction video on my channel too for that if you want to go check that out. Looks really, really awesome. It reminds me a lot of Fast and the Furious. There was a gameplay trailer which showed a lot of gameplay from it, where they were chasing after a truck. Graphically, it looks absolutely stunning. Gameplay, it looks smooth as, and like I said, it reminds me a lot of Fast and the Furious movies, especially the later ones, and I highly recommend you go check that trailer out. Or better still, show some love to this channel and go check out my reaction video to see what I thought of it. But comes out November 10th, 2017. That is definitely a game I'll be keeping an eye on, and potentially one that I'll be buying myself. And one of the most interesting things that happened at this press conference, apart from the main event that I'll be getting into a little bit later on, is that EA announced a new IP called A Way Out, made by the creators of Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons. If you haven't played that game, go check it out. It's basically a co-op RPG. Pretty much what it is, a tale of 2 brothers who have to work together in order to progress through the game. And they've kind of taken that mechanic and brought it to a new style of game. This Way Out looks like a Prison Break type of game, where 2 people have to work together in order to break out of a prison. And one interesting thing about that game is that it's going to be entirely co-op. You can either play local co-op with a friend on the same console, or you can play online. And basically, each story, each playthrough is going to be pretty much unique. And the two people, although they're playing in co-op, are not necessarily intertwined together and forced to work together. While one person can be in a cutscene, the other person who's not in a cutscene can so independently go and progress through the game. And basically, they work together, but they're not forced to sort of like play the same game together. They can both go off and do the individual thing in order to progress and get through the section of the game that they need to. I think the concept of it, I think the idea that it's entirely co-op is really, really unique and it really intrigues me. However, one reservation I've got is that, what about if you don't have anyone that can play co-op, you're forced to play online? If you haven't got anyone local to play co-op, you're forced to play online. But what about in a couple of years' time when the game has sort of had its day, people aren't playing it anymore, and you get the game for the first time and you try and play online with someone and there's pretty much no one online to play with. And also, what if you want to just play for half an hour? Can you jump into someone else's story and just drop back out of it? Or do you have to basically start a new game with a new person, then half an hour later say, right, I'm going out now, see you later, bye. And that ends the experience with someone else. I've got a lot of reservations, got a lot of questions I need answering. However, I have no doubt that these questions will be answered over time. And hopefully they'll be answered in the way that satisfies me. And I'll definitely go out and buy this game. They also talked about all the usual sports stuff. FIFA, NBA Live, Madden 18. Madden 18 is actually being developed on the Xbox's Project Scorpio dev kit. In 4K using the Frostbite engine. Looks absolutely sweet. As a new NBA Live demo is coming in August, and the progress that you make on the demo can carry over into the full game. FIFA 18, as always, looks stunning. All the usual sports stuff coming from EA. If you're interested in that stuff, go and check it out. But you know what Madden is, you know what NBA is, you know what FIFA is. I don't need to talk about it much more. While we're talking about A Way Out, though, bringing a new IP, another new IP was announced by EA in collaboration with BioWare, and that is a game called Anthem. A very, very short teaser trailer was shown, showing the game. It looks sweet, as it looks has a bit of a Mass Effect influence going on, but looks really, really stunning. Graphically looks awesome. There's going to be a full reveal of it at the Microsoft press conference. I believe it's today. It's going to be on the 11th. I'm going to be checking that out for sure. And I'll definitely be talking about that game more as we know more information about it. But I highly recommend you go check out my reaction video to it. And also keep your eyes out for the Microsoft press conference, see what this game is about. Because just from that little tiny teaser trailer, it's got me intrigued and I really want to check it out. But now, for the main event of the evening, the game that we were all waiting for, the game that was announced, the game that was revealed, and the game that did not disappoint. Dude. Star Wars Battlefront 2 was announced, was shown, officially was revealed, and it looks absolutely incredible. The star of the show for sure. Battlefield 1 looks stunning, but that was nothing compared to Battlefront 2. This was the main event. Stormtroopers came out on the stage, a big sort of display of stormtroopers, and Commander Iden Verso, I think is how you pronounce it, from Battlefront 2, played by a person called Janina Gavinka, I think she was called. Basically, a person who is an actor or an actress within the game itself, presented this reveal, and she did a really great job, better job than I'm doing right now doing this review. But it was absolutely, you could tell it was the start of the show. They put a lot of effort into this. The main talk about it was a tweet that John Boyega, I'm really rubbish with names. John Boyega, who plays Finn in the new Star Wars trilogy, he made a tweet about is Battlefront 2 going to be getting an offline campaign, and that pretty much became the focus of this presentation. And yes, Star Wars Battlefront 2 is going to get a full offline campaign. Battlefront 1, that was the main downfall. The game was awesome, but we needed a campaign that we could play on our own and enjoy, and we are finally getting it with Battlefront 2. Battlefront 2 will also bridge the gap in the campaign between Return of the Jedi and The Force Awakens. So basically, like Rogue One was the bridge between episode 3 and 4, this is going to be the bridge between episodes 6 and 7. And that makes it sound like it's going to be canon too. This is going to be an official Star Wars story, or at least that's what it's making out to be. There's going to be local co-op in the campaign. Online, there's going to be more heroes and villains you can play as, more vehicles. There's going to be more planets you can explore. There's going to be more space battles to do. There's going to be more customization with their new class system. There's going to be content across all three Star Wars eras. So you've got the prequel trilogy, the original trilogy, and the sequel trilogy is all going to be in this game, and all the characters are going to be intertwined as you play sort of on the online stuff. There's going to be a new battle point system which allows you to spend the points to become the heroes or spend them on vehicles, etc. mid-game. All the heroes and villains are going to have their own unique abilities. The next thing it showed was these things called game changers, which is basically like game testers, except they're not official EA employed people. These are YouTubers, these are website owners, these are bloggers, these are vloggers, these are streamers. People who have made content on Star Wars Battlefront have been taken in by EA to go to Stockholm to go and play Battlefront 2. These people that are going to be playing the game as consumers themselves when the game is launched, the people that are going to be streaming it on Twitch, on YouTube, writing about it on their websites, they've been taken to EA's DICE office in Stockholm and shown the game, allowed to play it, give their thoughts on it, say what they think should be changed, what they think should be tweaked, what they like about it, what they dislike about it, and that has basically helped shape the game as we're going to see it. And they also got the game changers to create the trailer that you saw me do a reaction video for. They actually did the footage for the trailer. All the gameplay footage you saw was done by actual YouTubers, streamers, and all that, which is absolutely awesome. It shows that EA, or at least DICE, really care. But I think EA as a whole really getting better at caring about the community and caring about the players. And they're really listening to the people that matter, the people that are playing this game. And they're trying to make Battlefront 2 to be the best game as possible. And the trailer, dude, I did a reaction video away. Go check it out. It was awesome. There was a load of new heroes and villains in it from all eras, including Darth Maul. There was Kylo Ren, there was Rey, there was Chewbacca, there was Boba Fett, there was Yoda. There was the droids from episode 1, those things that go Raja Raja. There was them in it. There was stormtroopers, there was clone troopers, there was the troopers from the Force Awakens. There was all sorts of stuff. There was just so much going on. They were intertwined with each other. It was awesome. That was one of the best trailers I have seen in a very, very long time. If you want to see my reaction to it, go check it out. Links will be down below for all the trailers in the description box. After that, they also showed a live 20-on-20 battle between the game changers. There's 39 game changers and the Commander Iden Verso from Battlefront 2 taking the 40th spot. And there was a 20-on-20 live battle. All gameplay footage, all live. Looked absolutely awesome. The game looked like it played really, really well. And if you thought Battlefront 1 looked like a great game, you thought that played well, that was nothing compared to what we're seeing in Battlefront 2. This is going to blow Battlefront 1 out of the water, and it is going to smoke it and just leave it in the dust. Battlefront 1 looks like a pretty naff game compared to what this looks like. That is how good this is. Battlefront 1 is excellent. Don't get me wrong, Battlefront 1 is why am I pointing over there? Battlefront 1 is an awesome game. Battlefront 1 is... I love Battlefront 1. This looks great. John Boyega actually announced himself that Finn will be in Battlefront 2. You'll be able to play in Worlds from The Last Jedi. That isn't even out yet. And all the DLC, there'll be a Season 1 DLC with Finn. That you'll be able to play as Finn in Worlds from Last Jedi. And that'll be free DLC coming shortly after the game is released. And in fact, all of the DLC from Battlefront 2 will be free. Obviously, you have the Season Pass from Battlefront 1, but they have listened to the players. They've listened to the game changer who said that they don't want to pay extra and obviously exclude certain players from not being able to play it because they don't own the DLC. So everything, all the extra content in this game is going to be free, which is awesome. So we're going to get the base game, which looks awesome as it is, and we're going to continue to expand it into new games, new DLC, and we're all going to get to enjoy it. Whether you can afford it, you don't have to afford it anymore. You buy the game, all the DLC is yours. That is awesome. And I'm really happy about that. The star of the show for sure. Battlefront 2 was the star of the show. I know I've stumbled through this. I know I've stuttered through this quite a lot. But there's so much information to try and think of and try and talk about. And just seeing that trailer just blew me away. It blew my mind. I can't even think straight at the minute because that trailer was just... Dude... Go watch it. Go watch the trailer yourself. Go watch my reaction to it. It will make a lot more sense. Go watch the press conference. It will make a lot more sense. I think EA potentially, this is the first press conference, and I think they've already potentially had one of the best. I don't know if all the companies are going to be able to top this one. It was awesome. And if this is how you... This is the first press conference from E3. I can't wait to see what all the other companies are going to do. And I'll be anticipating them, and I'll be watching them. This year, I think, is going to be one of the best we've seen in a while. Although I've stuttered through it, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to be doing a lot of E3 coverage, whether it's videos like this, whether it's reactions. Hopefully I'll be able to compose myself through later ones. I won't be stuttering through and being a clusterfuck through this whole thing. And I will try and make it a little bit more professional. But if you've enjoyed this video today, make sure you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. My name is Doodles. Thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you guys next time.